So recently, Ryan Koo, founder of NoFilmSchool.com, announced that he's making Manchild the short film before he makes Manchild a feature. And there's various reasons, all of which are very valid. He says the reason to make the short is not only to help financing or raise financing, but to get word out about the project, to gain credibility in the basketball world, to hone his chops in terms of shooting pace and things like that. Do you find that filmmakers you often interact with have the same business mindset when it comes to making short films?
A lot of times. A pretty good amount of the films a good amount of films we get at the festival are made with feature film, intentions in mind. I don't know if they have the same exact plan, where it sounds like he's got a very specific plan where he has this plan like in place and he knows what he wants to do with his film, make the film, test things out, and try to get investors attached down. He has a certain plan in place that's probably more specific and probably better, and it's smart to do, more so than some of the films and filmmakers we have at the fest, because a lot of times if it's say a student filmmaker, their first time film, they want to make a new feature, but they don't even know the steps of how to do that. But they want to make this their kind of, not just calling card, but more of a showcase of what the story could be, whether it is the first few minutes of the film, or if it's almost like the first act, or just more, this is the kind of story they want to tell, this is what the short is, but if they made the feature version, it would just be an extension of that, whether like that kind of thing. So you get a lot of that, where the films that we're screening, I don't know percentage wise, but because there are a lot that are also just short films that were made specifically to be a short, not to be a feature, to tell a certain story a certain way and be a short film and stand alone. But there are a lot of films that the intention is, okay, I like to turn this into a feature eventually. Horror category, you have a bunch of those that are horror shorts, they're great. They just essentially want to make those into features and just finish the script and just go ahead and shoot a feature film of the film that they did, like say in the horror category, for instance. You get a lot of that with that category. And some people already have that in place. They have the script ready and they're trying to go out there and meet people at the festival and try to, hustle and make that happen. And some folks that's their intention, but they haven't even gotten to the point where they are ready to even shoot a feature. But you do see a lot of that plan, is that these films, and going back to the stepping stone thing like this, the festival, a lot of films we have this is the first film in a journey for people. They're going on to try to make feature films and work in this business and make more movies. This is not the end all be all. This is the beginning. So this is very early in the process of a person's career, and with that, a majority of these films are, the filmmakers have feature film aspirations for these stories. They're near and dear to them, but it's not all of them. Obviously, it's a certain percentage of them that are that. But you do only see a certain amount of filmmakers you talk to that have a real plan in place already with the short to feature. Like we've seen that a few times. Like last year, we did have a film that we screened the feature. The year before, we screened the short, but at the same time, they were shooting the short, already having the feature film in mind. They had the budget in place. They were actually just getting that. They want to get that short out there a little bit, and they already had the plans. They already had financing for the feature. They just wanted to get the short out there a little bit to kind of just get the word out, and also just kind of get the buzz and word out, really. That's a similar scenario, but they also, again, they had financing. They already were going to make the feature film. But they just wanted to get the short out there. They shot a scene of the film, made it a short, got it out there, submitted to festivals while they're actually making a feature film. So, of the same, of course, story. So that was a good example there. But they literally were shooting the film already, and they had a feature, like they already had the financing, and there was pre-production in place. They were already they were going. But you see some of that. You definitely see some of that, and then I think it's a good idea. I think it's one way. It's something you can show investors, show people, like, this is what we have. This is what I can do, outside of just pitching them with nothing. You have something, and if you do have the star attached, if the star and his talent that can help financing, and they're in the film, even better for that reason. If they can see that the person's in the film, and they can see the work and see what it is, and that person's attached and literally in the short. We've seen that before in our fest, and we've seen that example, and I think that's definitely something that works.